Yo, yo, yo. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Good morning to my Freedom March and Freedom family, freedom lovers and freedom fighters. Salute to the beautiful orange lily for you. Thank you for showing up this morning. Thank you for the compliment. Yeah, I had to trim it down a little bit. I trimmed the beard a little bit because, it was getting a little wild on the side. So, my beard grows wild as hell. Anyway, good morning, everybody. Salute. Yes, yes. I wanted to remind everybody today, in this morning paper that I'm hitting y'all upside the head with, that Donald Trump initiated Operation Warp Speed. Do you guys remember that? Do you guys remember Operation Warp Speed? Because that was a very pivotal moment in not only the country, not only in the U.S., but in the entire world. What did Operation Warp Speed do? It initiated the accelerated development of the COVID-19, right? And this development of the COVID-19, which was allowed to bypass years and years of research, years and years of studies and tests. Am I back, guys? Give me a Romeo, Lima, Charlie. If you guys got me. Give me a Romeo, Lima, Charlie. It means read you loud and clear. Salute to Realize in the building. Realize is up in the building this morning. Thank you again for dropping that super chat yesterday. I appreciate you. Flying Guillotine is in the building. Now, before I was so rudely interrupted, I was talking about Operation Warp Speed and COVID-19 and all that good stuff. If you guys don't remember Operation Warp Speed, which was brought into place it's about 6 years ago, right, in 2020, it led to the rapid development of supposedly the rapid development of mRNA technology that would be used to combat the COVID-19 virus, right? Remember that? It was what they called, they didn't even want to call it a vaccine. They wanted to call it technology, right? Good Guy Activism, salute to you, brother. Good Guy Activism is in the building. You guys go check out his channel, man. Y'all go check him out. Make sure you guys drop your link if you have a channel. But mRNA technology, not just mRNA technology, they had other technology as well. All these things were rolled out so quickly. 9 months of development. 9 months. When it typically takes, about 5 to 10 years for them to comfortably say that a vaccine is safe and effective. Now, the common cold, right, which can be caused by a virus, that doesn't even have a vaccine yet. So the common cold does not have a vaccine. They don't have a vaccine for that. But somehow, because, the common cold can kill some people, like colds can get really bad. It can lead to pneumonia and all these different things. Now, the common cold, the viruses that cause common colds and whatnot, they don't even have a vaccine for that. So how is it that we would expect them to develop a vaccine in 9 months for a novel coronavirus? A coronavirus that, yes, Good Guy Activism, I checked your channel out a couple times. I will admit that I have neglected to do so more consistently, which I will do. I will check out your channel more often. Why are you spamming in my chat? What are these? What are these numbers you got? What is this? Why are we throwing these numbers in my chat? I don't understand. Why are we doing that? Why are we clogging my chat up with these random numbers? Anyway, well, I didn't get jabbed either, right? I didn't get jabbed by any vaccine. I don't get jabbed by vaccines, right? I haven't gotten jabbed by vaccines since I was in the military. I got the flu vaccine and it made me very sick. And I was like, oh, hell no, I'm not doing that again. Anyway. So listen, man. The rapid development of this mRNA technology was pushed through by the FDA, got emergency approval. The CDC told you guys. They told everybody that it's effective, it's safe, that it will prevent you from getting, first they said it will stop you from contracting the virus. And when that was found to be false, they said, well, it'll help prevent you from being hospitalized, which was another false statement. There were a lot of false statements surrounding the COVID-19 vaccines in its numerous forms. It doesn't matter what form it was in, right? But you have to ask the question, was it really that quick of a development of these vaccines? Because they had already been working on mRNA technology for years, right? And I don't actually believe that the COVID-19 vaccine was new at all. I think they had been working on this vaccine for years, like they were working on the COVID-19 virus itself. Because we know now that COVID-19 derived from a lab in China where they were doing gain-of-function research into the development of the COVID-19 vaccine. Basically, when you talk about gain-of-function research in terms of germs, they actually develop it to actually cause harm, right? They want to find out, oh, well, could this virus actually affect humans in a negative way? This is what they're doing with gain-of-function research, just so you know. These are all things that are realities. You guys can go look it up. It's not a conspiracy theory. It's not a conspiracy hypothesis. These are realities. Your boy Anthony Frosty had to get grilled in Congress, namely by Rand Paul, because it was discovered that the NIH was funding gain-of-function research in China. Yeah, these are realities. So just so you guys understand, if they're developing a virus that they are trying to find out can cause harm to human beings, or if they're taking a virus that exists and they are doing certain things to it to see if it can contract if human beings can contract it and get sick from it, then they are also developing something that they could use to eradicate it, or something they can use to combat it. But what did they develop to combat the COVID-19 vaccine? The virus. They developed the vaccine, right? The mRNA technology, where they put messenger RNA into your body, and it's supposed to enter into your cells and give instructions, right? It gives instructions to the little things inside your cells, right, in the cytoplasm, to create proteins based on the instructions from the mRNA. And what did your cells end up developing? It ended up developing spike proteins, right? So they're putting these things in your body, this mRNA, and is making your cells create spike proteins. That's what it's doing, right? This is exactly what they're putting in your body. And it took them 9 months to develop it. So they're basically filling your body up with these spike proteins, which is your body's supposed to attack it. It's supposed to build the antibody for it. make it easier for your body to fight it. But what ended up happening, right, is that these spike proteins would end up in places they're not supposed to end up, in certain organs that they're not supposed to be in, creating all kinds of problems. So in the very short term, they created cytokine storms and all these different things. The same thing the virus itself was supposed to be doing, the spike proteins did as well, right? People were getting the heart enlargements. I forgot what they call it. The lining of your heart. All that inflammation, blood clots. Let's not forget the blood clots. Yeah, it caused your body to develop blood clots, the likes of which was never seen before in medical history. There were coroners that came out and they were talking about how deceased individuals that had been given these vaccines died of these blood clots, and they were pulling blood clots out of the person's veins or the blood vessels that completely took up the entire blood vessel. So they were basically pulling out blood clots, white blood clots, that were the size and shape of the inside of your blood vessels, completely filling up your blood vessels with this white shit that was caused basically by the spike proteins, right? The spike proteins create these clots. This is just a reality. You guys can look it up. So that was the immediate short-term effects of these vaccines in some people, right? In some people. There were a number of vaccine injuries that were reported. There was not just the blood clots. There were also the blood platelets, right? One guy, he got, he lost all the platelets in his blood, and he died that way after getting the vaccine, right? So those are the immediate short-term effects that a lot of people suffered from the vaccine. A lot of the vaccine injuries, strokes, heart attacks, myocarditis, those different types of ailments, immediate effects from the protein. And then you have the long-term or not so long-term effects that are being discovered today and have been discovered for the last couple years. Yeah. Like the cancers, the fast-acting cancers that has you going from no cancer to stage 3 cancer in months, stage 3, stage 4. And cancers in a lot of different parts of the body, the colon, the lungs, right? The bowels, a lot of different places where people are developing cancers right now. Oh shit. Orange Lily for you says, yep, I found my dad on the floor, basal ganglia clot. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry to hear that. Wow. Okay. Orange Lily for you says, Fly, she also had 2 brain tumors. Ooh-wee. So there were a number of studies that were done in numerous countries, including Japan, Korea, Italy, that we're not doing here in the United States, but they're doing it in other countries, right? They're doing it in other nations where they actually care about what problems these vaccines may be causing in human beings. And let's not forget the number of athletes that were falling dead on soccer fields, football fields, just young guys, young men and women just falling out dead, who were just, they had to actually take the vaccines to participate in the sport that they love. Yeah. They weren't able to participate in these sports without taking the vaccine. So let's not forget about those individuals. Let's not forget about the young athletes that were just falling over dead, having heart attacks. They develop myocarditis, pericarditis. Yeah, young people. Absolutely. Young people who are otherwise healthy before they took these vaccines. Let's not forget Marvin Hagler, who died shortly after taking the vaccine, and Tommy Hearn, his longtime friend and former opponent in the world of boxing, talked about how his family was saying that he had just taken the vaccine, and they quickly tried to shut Tommy Hearn up because they didn't. Of course, this was in the early times of the vaccine where it was taboo to talk about the vaccine in a negative manner. And so guess what happened? Yeah. If it was 2022 or 2023 and I was having this discussion with you guys, my channel would probably get a strike, right? But now it's okay to talk about it. It's okay to talk about the vaccine now, right? In a way that is very, very informational and factual. In these countries, they are testing and studying the effects of the vaccine, and they are discovering causal effects of the vaccine, where it is increasing the rate of cancer upwards to 70% in the individuals that took the vaccine. Many different forms of cancer, fast-acting cancer where, hey, listen, one day you all Gucci, right? You just took the vaccine. You feel good about yourself. You going around bragging on Facebook, I got the jab and all that other shit. Next thing you know, 2-3 months later, you talking about you got cancer, my friend. Oh, I got cancer. Oh yeah. Now, does this happen to everybody that takes it? No, absolutely not. Right? Well, what about the individuals that get the booster after booster after booster? Well, in those studies in Japan, in South Korea, where about a large percent of the population, we're talking about a cohort of 8 million people in a lot of these studies, a large cohort of individuals, right, in these studies that showed a huge increase in cancer in individuals that took the vaccine, oftentimes having 3 or 4 boosters. The more boosters you have, the more likely you are to get cancer. That's just the reality. I actually covered these studies a numerous amount of times on this channel. So you can go back and I actually read from these studies to tell you what percentage of cancers you might have an increase in if you took the vaccine based on the number of booster shots you had. See, why am I talking about this? Because, well, I don't want us to forget that our government, that at the behest of Donald Trump, forced these vaccines onto the American people in a way that was extremely coercive. Very coercive, right? Your boy Donald Trump signed a bill into law upwards to the amount of $6 trillion, Operation Warp Speed, which rapidly developed these vaccines that are now being flagged for causing cancer. And now you got celebrity die-off that's occurring. People are dying of cancer months or a year or so after they discover that they had these cancers. James Vanderbeek, you guys remember him? You're probably not familiar with him. He was in Dawson's Creek, right? He found out he had cancer last year. And when he found out it was stage 3 cancer, or stage 2, he died at stage 3. Yep. Colorectal cancer, which is one of the cancers that these vaccines have been shown to cause in these studies. Yeah. I don't want us to forget because, well, a lot of people took these vaccines. And if you took the vaccine, thanks in part to Big Daddy Trump, you are at risk, according to the studies, according to the research that has been done over a number of years involving millions of cohorts. You might want to go and get yourself checked out. You might want to go look at it because you might think that you don't have cancer. You might be good, all good and dandy. You might have no symptoms at all whatsoever. Next thing you know, you done lost 20 pounds in 3 days. You can't eat anything. You feel like shit. Go get yourself checked out. Salute to Black Spring with Autumn in the building. Salute to the beautiful Black Spring with Autumn. Make sure you guys go check her channel out. She ain't did content in a minute, but go check her out. Salute to you, Black Spring. Flying Guillotine says the trees didn't question the axe. No, they didn't. They just got chopped down, did they not? Salute to you, Orange Lily, for you. Yes, R.I.P. to Marvin Hagler. Absolutely. James Vanderbeek. Susan Wojcicki. You guys remember her? She died of lung cancer. In 2020, what? 2024? She found out she had cancer in 2023. Susan Wojcicki was the CEO of Facebook, of YouTube. Yeah, she ran YouTube. And she was instrumental in the information war in regards to COVID-19. Any alternative information about COVID-19 vaccine and COVID-19 itself was getting greatly restricted and being shot down. And if you were one of those channels that were talking about COVID-19 and the COVID-19 vaccine in the way I was talking about it, oh, your channel was getting shadow banned, outright banned, restricted, suspended. I don't know how many suspensions I got talking about COVID-19. Yeah, she died. Yeah, she was a huge proponent of the vaccine. I wish Dietary C. Williams was here, because Dietary C. Williams has been cataloging a lot of interesting deaths over the years since the COVID-19 vaccine was rolled out. Deaths of individuals who pushed the vaccine so hard that you thought they might be getting paid from it. But guess what? A lot of these individuals are dying. The deaths were surreal. Oh, absolutely. Orange Lily says plants only. Orange Lily for you. I'm sorry to say this, but that's not the solution. I'm sorry. No, not plants. What does a plant have to? Orange Lily for you. What does a plant have to do with the vaccine? How does eating plants only going to save you from? Do you know when Steve Jobs got his cancer and it had nothing to do with COVID? But do you know when he got his cancer? I think it was colon cancer or whatever cancer he had, pancreatic. He went on a fruitarian diet. Do you know that, right? How did Steve Jobs tried a number of different types of diets, including vegan, including frugitarian. I'm not trying to shit on your eating lifestyle. I'm just saying. There are a number of celebrities who, when they get these cancers, they go on these vegan diets and they go on these frugitarian diets. And it doesn't really work out that well for them. There are people dying on fruit diets. Cali Muscle went on a fruitarian diet and he had a heart attack not too long ago. I'm just saying. Black Spring Autumn says, now salute to you, Orange Lily for you. If you're a healthy, metabolically healthy individual, being vegan works very well for you. I know a number of vegans that are very, very healthy, and they live a long life, but they're metabolically healthy. You understand what I'm saying? Little Few says they are acting as if pills and needle cure plants prevent the heal. People of color have built in corrective system. Who acting? No, I'm not for pills. So listen. People of color have a built-in corrective system. A built-in corrective system that is what, fueled by plants? Is that what you're saying? Black Spring Autumn says now, so the so-called conservatives support Big Pharma. They're lockstep with whatever their master says. Absolutely, Black Spring. Are you familiar with the Maasai tribe? Orange Little Few, because often people like to go to Africans when they talk about veganism. You know that only 6% of Africa is vegan? 6%. 6% of Africans are vegan. 6%. Historically, people of color are not vegans. They're just not. They're not. The Maasai tribe, which is still one of the most indigenous groups of people in Africa, they don't eat anything but meat. They eat and they drink blood from animals. The death rate for a Maasai tribe is 55. Do you know why? It's not because of what they eat. It's because of how they live, right? The death rate for the Maasai tribe is 55. Well, do you know why? It's because they have been displaced, right? They have been displaced, and their habitat that they normally live in has been eradicated, basically. It's not the diet, or legal for you. It's not the diet at all. It's not the diet. They've been living like that for centuries. The Africans are only 6% vegan. Right? But there are carnivores right now that are in their 80s and 70s. Carnivores, like they just eat straight meat. They are not a blue zone. I don't want to hear nothing about that blue zone stuff, because that's completely that's not real information that they're giving you. A lot of those individuals in those blue zones eat meat. See, here's the difference. The difference is, in a lot of those blue zones, they don't give you processed foods. Yeah. It's the processed foods, the industrial seed oils, the processed sugar, right? See, lifespan has more to do with sanitation than a diet. It has more to do with how people live in their environment. It has a lot to do with stress, right? So if you are a member of an indigenous tribe that is wholly, basically untouched by civilization, your lifespan is shorter because you face more dangers. You'll face more starvation. You'll face more dehydration. You'll face more dangers from predators that you compete with. And they live under a certain amount of stress that shortens their lifespan. It has nothing to do with the diet at all. Right? So in those blue zones that you're talking about, they're not all vegan. What the component is the lack of processed foods in their diet. Is the United States a blue zone? There are more vegans in the United States, percentage-wise, than any other nation, including the blue zones. But anyway, it's the processed foods they put in the diet. And in certain countries, they don't allow certain processed foods. They don't allow certain ingredients. They don't allow certain processes. They don't allow certain dyes and chemicals in the food in certain countries where the lifespan is a lot longer. Right? Like in France. France has a less incidence of cancer in their country Me and my wife just looked this up because she was talking about the rate of pancreatic cancer in the United States. I said, I wonder what the rate is in France, right? Because in certain countries, they don't have certain shit in their food, certain crap. So it's less about whether you're vegan or carnivore and more about what chemical bullshit you put in your body. So if a carnivore or a vegan, if you're a vegan who's not eating processed foods, your life is going to be a lot longer, and you're going to have more quality of life. Here we go with the white people stuff. Everything to do with nutrition and lifestyle. Cali, 7-day Adventist, or blue area. Yeah, I heard about that. Again, it has more to do with not eating processed bullshit than whether or not you're vegan or a carnivore or an omnivore or you eat fruit and vegetables. It doesn't matter, right? If you don't allow certain bullshit to go into your body, right? If you eat whole foods, if you're a vegan who eat whole foods, then you're better. You have a better chance of being healthy and living a longer life. But you got to get complete nutrition. It's about complete nutrition and less bullshit. You talking about black people's systems? All birds don't eat the same as humans. Okay. So what I'm saying is, I know carnivores. As a matter of fact, when I went keto, I reversed my pre-diabetes. I reversed my fatty liver. I reversed my cholesterol issues. Eating mostly meat, eating mostly animal fat, eating mostly animal meat, and a little bit of spinach and some berries. That's what I did. But you know what I eliminated? The processed sugar, the high fructose corn syrup, all that bullshit. I was eating more whole foods, more solid food, more single ingredient foods. I was eating that. And I lost almost 100 pounds. Reversed my pre-diabetes, right? Got my body fat percentage all the way down, my energy up, right? So I looked older based on my horrible diet, which had more to do with eating processed sugar shit and less to do with meat. As a matter of fact, it had nothing to do with meat. I actually went vegan one time. I went vegan 1 year. I gained weight. And that's when I developed pre-diabetes, when I was vegan. I developed pre-diabetes when I was vegan. So I tried that, Orange Lily. It doesn't work for everybody. My father's diabetes in 25th reverse, he was, salute to him. Yeah, I was almost 300 pounds. I was 285 or 286. Salute to him. I wasn't vegan, and I did the exact same thing. No, I didn't eat vegan junk food. I ate beans, I ate rice, I ate vegetables. No, I didn't eat junk food at all. I stayed away from soy. No, it's just the carbs. Carbs, my body does not agree with carbohydrates. So if you're vegan, you're going to be on a high. If you want to get complete nutrition, you're going to be taking in a lot of carbohydrates. My body doesn't like carbohydrates. That just is what it is. So if I want to get the protein I need from the food that I was eating as a vegan, I would have to eat a lot of carbohydrates along with it. It is what it is. So veganism doesn't agree with me. So I was gaining weight and I was going into pre-diabetes. But guess what? When I went keto and it was eating bacon and ribeye steaks, eggs every day, I lost weight, reversed fatty liver. It is what it is. It is what it is, shouty. It just, I reversed all that. My skin got clear, smooth, you know what I mean? Energy went up. My sprints, I improved my sprinting and all. It just is, hey, that was eating meat, bacon, ribeye steaks, cooking in animal fat, beef tallow, bacon grease, saturated, everything. Yeah, it is. Hey, can't argue with the results. But anyway, y'all got to get out of here. Just remember that the effects of the COVID-19 vaccine, which they are still low-key trying to push on the people. They're still trying to push that. And they tried to scare us with this this new COVID strain, the XBBZDDDDDDDDDD bullshit. Remember that? Oh, yeah, this is the most aggressive COVID-19 strain. Oh, they tried to pull that shit. Yeah. Oh, the death rate is this. It's like 50%. People are just ignoring it now, which it kind of worries me because that might be what they want, right? But anyway, y'all, got to get out of here. I just wanted to remind you guys that people are still dying of these aggressive, fast-acting cancers at an unprecedented rate since before the COVID-19 vaccine rollout. And there is information, studies, research that has been done to show the causal effects of the COVID-19 vaccine and cancer. It is what it is. It is, y'all can go look it up. Y'all can fact check me. Do your own research. It is what it is. Anyway, y'all, much love, like, share, subscribe. And let's keep marching forward toward freedom and truth. Peace.